this is the problem with hosting the podcast and also producing it, is that I forget to turn your mic towards
all
you.
the way around. Oh yeah. I'm like, wow, I can't. I talked and I didn't hear myself. I hear myself now.
No,
Where? Oof. Can't block my face.
Oh, dude. Dude, look, we're
what's
coming,
it about?
Coming in hot today.
Yeah, real hot.
Dude, so hot.
So hot we're smoking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's like 66 in here.
Yeah,
It's actually quite not hot.
It's very cool.
Yeah,
But,
which is how I like it.
welcome, Pop Culture Parts.
Yes, PCP.
Wow.
It's time for your weekly dose of PCP.
Yeah,
Your first one. And then there's
the We the People podcast network.
politically correcting podcast coming up after this.
Yeah, we do it all.
Oh, dude.
Only the
Everything.
acronyms though.
Yes, only PCP.
So, what's up?
So, yeah, what have you been up to the past week? Anything?
Just in general? Just-
well, usually I say, what have you been watching? What have you been playing?
Well,
anything?
so I'll bring it up. You asked me what I was watching last week, and I said nothing. However, somebody had recommended the series Louder Milk to me with Ron Livingston and Will Sasso, and
Right.
some girl. There's I think Russian. Whatever, the female lead in the show.
Okay.
So I've watched the first season.
Yeah,
It's okay.
it's okay.
Yeah, and it's I guess I was victim to the circumstance that it was very hyped to me. Louder Milk.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens.
And so
The overhype.
I guess I went into it thinking that it was going to be, early season Game of Thrones good. It's not that like
boy, that is
so
that's a high bar.
yeah,
Like the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones,
very
were
good.
legit excellent.
Well, basically they just read the books and then put them on the screen.
Right.
Turns out it's not that hard to do, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah. George R.R. Martin is a good writer.
Yeah. Well,
Benioff and Weiss, not so much.
And if you look at the contrast of the last couple seasons and the first 4, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's a stark contrast.
Well, oh, he did a pun because like Iron Man.
Yeah, right. Nailed it. I hope you don't marvel at all of the rest of my puns.
Oh my gosh. Oh, because like the marvelous parts of Game of Thrones.
This knee that I have is giving me issues.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, it's called getting old. But so Louder Milk, it's on Amazon. It was on, I think, Crave or Apple TV, something that folded, not Crave.
I don't even know.
But a pretty
Yahoo.
It was something streaming service that was producing it and distributing it, and it folded. So there's 3 seasons of Louder Milk, and it got picked up by Amazon, so they distribute it now. And there's plans for a 4th season, but who knows if they're ever gonna get around to producing it. It's well made. It's worth watching. It's Will Sasso shines in it.
Okay. He's always been good, but I feel like he's never in anything good.
No.
Yeah,
I looked up his filmography
Like,
afterwards. It was awful.
He's usually better than the projects he's in.
But he doesn't have a pedigree to claim anything for it.
Right. Like he's I think if he had lucked into like a really good script at some point, his career would have been
kind of like if the flip side of that is Ron Livingston.
Right.
Who is a pretty good actor. I would say he brings just as much to the show as Will Sasso does.
So, I mean, he hasn't been in anything in years, right?
Well, yeah, but he got launched by Office Space essentially.
Right. And then
I mean, he's made out with Jennifer Aniston.
Right.
And I don't care what context that's in. He's done it.
Good.
So, good for Ron Livingston.
Yeah.
And he's doing all right now. He looks the same as he did. Office Space was 99, I think. 97 or 99.
Yeah, something like that.
So, I mean, it's been 20 years plus. He looks the same. I mean, good. He's aged very well. So, you know what? Ron Livingston, he's doing it. I hope they make a couple more seasons. I don't know where they're going to go in the storyline. I'm only like halfway through the 2nd season too. And yeah. So that's what I've been watching. It's good. It's on Amazon if you want to watch it. It's definitely got a good wit to it.
Okay. Yeah, I like Amazon.
But again, I fell prey to the fact that it was so hyped up to me. I was thinking that it was going to be the greatest show of all time.
Yeah, that happens.
That it is not.
It happens.
So,
when those shows, like when a show gets so hyped, I almost like just I don't want to watch it.
Well, that's kind of what The Boys did for you, right?
No, I liked The Boys. I enjoyed watching the first season.
Okay,
but
not season 2 yet, huh?
Not season 2. But that's another thing though. Like shows in progress, I almost always watch like the first season and then never come back to them ever. Like if like a show comes out and it's like, oh, this great new show, oh my god. I watched the first season, I'll be like, wow, that was a great show. And then like a year and a half later, or whenever the second season comes out, I've like moved on. I'm no longer interested in the show.
That's strange.
That happened to me with Daredevil.
Okay.
Did you watch that Netflix Daredevil show?
Nope.
I saw the first season. It was great.
Yeah.
It's terrific.
I believe you.
Really, really solid. And I've heard good things about seasons 2 and 3. I haven't seen.
But you haven't watched it yet.
No, nope. And so I don't know, something about just like if I watch a show, the only show that I would watch like yearly was like Game of Thrones. That was the only one that I was watching as it happened.
Yeah, and there is no Game of Thrones on right now. And even the later season, like there were still quite a few people that were very, very excited for season 6. Less so, I would say, for season 7. And I think they were hoping at the end they were going to turn it around with season 8.
Just all the like, if they had just stuck the landing.
Yeah,
I honestly, even if it was a little bit of like a rocky landing, that would have been fine. But they just nosedived that ending.
Oh my gosh,
it was incredible almost. Like that single-handedly like destroyed Game of Thrones as a franchise.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No, it's as any sort of marketable IP, it's dead.
Yeah.
Because of that. And I would say it's even George R.R. Martin there would have a case to say this is damaged. I'm sure he's got some legal framework.
He's moved on. He's making Elden Ring.
That's true. Yeah, the From Software game there.
Yeah. Have you seen the trailer for that?
Yeah, I have. It looks good. But honestly, it looks more of the same. Which is not a bad thing when you're making Dark Souls and Bloodborne and you're making these real AAA video games that are fantastic in their own right. I don't think that you can go wrong with more. But it's not different.
The trailer that I saw was mostly like gameplay. It seemed focused, and I'm hoping that like the George R.R. Martin-ness of it, like that there's more than we've seen.
Okay.
That there's more like lore and like world building and like, because that's what he was really good at, I think.
Yeah.
Making these like believable worlds or whatever. So if there's more of that, I think that could really add something special to the From Software formula.
I hope so. I mean, I think they were pretty good at storytelling in their own cryptic way beforehand.
Yeah. No, like that's its own thing. But I think if they, you said there's more of the same. I think they could use something else.
Sure. And I'm glad that they're doing, kind of on a sidebar on this, I'm glad they're doing a new IP From Software with this Elden Ring, instead of having George R.R. Martin come in and write a new Dark Souls game.
Sure.
Like Dark Souls 5 or whatever.
Or at this point, they would probably like reboot it, but keep the Souls moniker. You know what I'm saying? Like it would have Elden Souls, or you know what I'm saying? Like something else where it's like, oh, it's a Souls game, but it's its own, But no, they just went like, no, this is its own.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm more interested in what's going on in the video game world than I am in what's going on in the real world.
Yeah.
Like I don't care.
Oh, the real world is.
Oh my God.
Listen, I produce like 5 different podcasts for the We the People Podcast Network.
Oh, the We the People Podcast Network?
The We the People Podcast Network.
Yeah, the We the People Podcast
We the People Podcast Network. 1 year anniversary on Friday.
Yeah, Friday. You mean the We the People Podcast 1 year anniversary that's coming up this Friday?
This Friday, September 24th. We're holding a party here at Revere Realty, 5 o'clock. Be there, not there, I guess.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's one of those two. It's a binary choice.
Yeah, those are your options.
That's all you get.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Now I made you lose your train of thought.
You totally. I have no idea.
Talking about the real world, it's crazy.
It's nuts. The Del Rio and all the Biden and Kamala and
well, I've been so busy that as I'm like scrolling through the headlines, I'm like, oh wow, things are happening.
Oh yeah. Well, are you just going through regular news headlines?
No.
Because that is that. Well, then you would know that Biden and Kamala are doing fine and everything is great according to like the first headlines.
The news, yeah, the news.
Dig a little deeper.
Oh no, I don't watch the news. Anybody that I'd recommend this to anyone that's out there and they're having anxiety over what's going on. I mean, obviously talk to a doctor, whatever.
Sure.
But if you're watching the news, stop.
Absolutely.
Stop watching the news.
Stop watching the news. Get off social media.
Get off social media. Stop watching the news. And maybe, and this is a big maybe exercise.
Right.
And I'm talking about like just go for a walk.
Sure.
Yeah.
Take a dog for a walk.
Yeah. Or let the dog take you for a walk. Whatever. Equal opportunity walkers. You know?
Exactly.
So those three things, I think we talk about mental health. And by we, I mean everybody else.
Right. I think this is the first time mental health has ever been said on Pop Culture Partisans.
Oh yeah, the PCP.
Right. PCP doesn't care about your mental health.
No, because we have a 3-step program.
Exactly.
It's called Get Off Social Media. So probably stop watching this. Stop watching the news, the mainstream news.
Yeah, only Jesus Christ.
Okay. And let a dog take you for a walk. And that's it. And I guarantee if you're not feeling a smidge, a modicum of betterment in your life, I don't think there's any hope for you.
Yeah.
I think if you don't see a minor improvement at the very least.
Right. Then you're probably lost. You're a lost cause.
Yeah.
There's no saving you.
And maybe stop going to college.
Yeah.
Join a trade.
Exactly.
Learn a trade.
Listen, I have a bachelor's degree.
So do I.
Yeah. We're both going into trades.
Doesn't do me much. Nope.
Yep.
No. Yeah. And not even like a bad bachelor's degree. I mean, I didn't get my bachelor's degree in gender studies. That's for sure.
Sure. Liberal arts.
But yeah, any of the soft sciences.
Yeah.
Stay away from.
No. 100%. Like I won't put down like college if you have like a plan, if you have like a thing that you want to do, like
right.
Like my brother wants to be an engineer, like a specific kind of engineer. He knows what he's about. He's going for it.
Right. And what it is with college, if you go to college for this reason, if you have a predetermined career choice,
right,
you know exactly what it is and you're hyper specific about it.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're not, you end up in this like waiting pool of gen ed.
Right.
Which just benefits you zero. And then you end up like me,
water.
Who's got my degrees in public health and health science, which is funny because that's all people talk about now with everything going on. And I'm like, yeah, but I can't do anything. I can like, let's see, I could work in a hospital and I could tell people that they're fat.
Yeah.
Like that was what my career counselor told me I could do.
Hey,
I go, I don't want to do that though. That sounds awful. And they probably know.
Yeah, listen,
those were the. And I'm not embellishing.
Hospital. People just tell me that.
I'm not embellishing that either. That was exactly what he said. Well, you could tell people that they're overweight, and you could help them with that. I mean, so I guess it wasn't
cool.
I could tell them they were fat. I could tell them they were overweight. But really,
I mean, that's what overweight means.
Well, I figured. Well, they wanted to be called overweight because that's sugarcoating it.
Right, but that's
and it's sugarcoating it. There's a joke there. Come on,
they love. Listen, there's nothing fat people love more than sugarcoating.
That's right.
Overweight people.
Yeah. So my bachelor degree, I basically a piece of paper. If it gets real cold in the winter, I'll consider burning it for warmth. It's worth about that to me.
Yep.
So
yep. I have a couple. I have a MCC, and I have a few pieces of paper.
Yeah. Yeah, and whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because the new generations we're going the other way, especially men. Men are starting to realize that college is fruitless and not going. I think it's like 60-40 now. I don't have the exact statistic in front of me, but it started to really shift. More women graduate from high school and from college. by quite a margin too.
Well, but what are they doing? Because they're not going into trades.
No, not at all. But so they're just sticking it out. The school system as a whole is designed on aggregate for women and the way girls and women work. They learn in much more of a passive stance. So be able to sit, memorize this information and spit it back.
Sure. Statistically. Yeah.
Yeah. That's, and not everyone obviously, right. But you look at who's medicated in schools and it's primarily the boys.
Right. You got to keep them,
right. And we frown upon rough and tumble play and all of that stuff now. So you can't do that.
Well, I was told that was bad in a Gillette commercial.
Oh yeah, where I get all of my moral views from.
Yeah. Remember that boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. That's what they kept saying.
Boys.
And they're like,
well, boys will be boys.
And then the Gillette people came out and were like, that's not an excuse.
Yeah, but you look at all these new athletes, and can you even say boys will be boys anymore? Or is that offensive?
No,
because maybe they won't be.
Maybe girls will be boys.
Yeah, well, it turns out some of them are.
Yeah, or boys will be girls.
And I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. Like, someone got in trouble for pointing out like an MMA fighter the other day. Oh, a transgender MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Who
boy to a girl or girl to a boy?
Boy to a girl.
Oh, okay. So he just wanted to win.
Yeah, and there's like pictures of like that guy in like the military before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then somehow he's kicking ass in the MMA. Somehow in the women's MMA.
Whoa.
It's so weird.
I'm so shocked.
So bizarre. I don't understand.
Well, that's kind of like, let's be real. If Caitlyn Jenner, formerly Bruce Jenner, walked in here and said, I'm going to fight you, you'd probably be like, meh, probably not. I don't want to. And not because it's a woman, because Bruce Jenner, or now Caitlyn Jenner, would kick your ass. I would imagine so.
Probably. I don't know. How old is Caitlyn Jenner?
If not, the level of crazy that they would go to is way beyond what level you'd go to.
That could be. I looked. If Bruce Jenner had transitioned in their prime,
would have won a couple more gold medals.
Right, and
quite a few.
Yeah. Then I probably wouldn't fight her.
Yeah, if you're speaking in the past tense, I don't know what the proper
word
is. You're canceled.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I fucked up.
Yep.
I fucked up the pronouns.
And you're a white guy, so you're already canceled.
Yeah, look, we were canceled like 3 topics ago.
Well, they already tell me that it does like I'm already canceled because nobody wants to listen to me because I'm a white guy.
Yeah.
A white guy.
White guy.
Yay.
White guy.
And so if you're not listening, then who cares?
Right.
I can say whatever I want.
Exactly.
And then in retrospect, kind of like Dick Richards there, Mike Richards.
Yes, Mike Richards.
Mike Dick.
The Jeopardy man?
Yeah. Nobody cared about what he was talking about when he said what he said on his podcast that got him, all the attention on him after he got the Jeopardy gig. Nobody cared about that prior to that. They dug it up, and then he folded like a weenie and said, well, I'm sorry that you cared about my podcast. I need to be better.
Yeah.
Yep. General advice. Just be better. Kind of like the Winter Soldier Falcon guy, the ending monologue. Come on, Senator, just be better.
Be better.
Huh. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I said that to a girl one time, and we'd been seeing each other.
Yeah.
And we weren't seeing each other after that.
When you told her to be better?
Yeah, we were playing like pickup volleyball.
Oh, okay. I thought she was just being racist.
Yeah, we were role playing, and I was the Falcon, and she was the Senator.
Somehow.
And I was like, "Come on, you can be the Falcon next time. Just be better at being the." No, yeah, she. Turns out, not only women don't like that. Nobody likes being told to be better, especially in a general context.
Also, it's so generic and like. What does that mean?
Nothing. Exactly. You need to be hyper specific when you talk about things like that. But that's where the media. Well, the media gets a pass on stuff like that because they just say, "Yeah, just be better." Come on, guys. You need to use your white privilege to be better.
White privilege.
I don't even. It's a whole other topic that I have plenty to talk about, but that's coming up on the next show.
I was gonna say that might.
Turns out
that group text has been going nuts.
I know. I've got my couple.
Listen, that show, that next dose
politically
of PCP
correcting
is going to be nuts.
I thought it should have been called Jose Can You See? But
wow, you should suggest that. That's incredible.
No, I can't suggest it to him because then I'll be canceled.
I'm going to suggest it to him. And I'm going to take credit.
Well, you could do the second.
There's no evidence that it wasn't my idea.
That's right. You could do the second line.
I produce these shows.
Jose does that Star Spangled Banner. I can't. Jose, I don't remember the line without singing it.
Yeah.
On the dawn's early light.
Yeah. Well, we gotta be careful. We don't want to be copyright struck by the
Fanny.
Isn't
that who wrote that?
I thought. Isn't that Key?
Francis Scott Key.
Francis Scott Key.
I should freaking know this.
Come on.
It is Francis Scott Key.
I know things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fanny.
Yeah.
Franny, but Fanny.
Right. His friends called him Fanny. The fuck are we saying?
That's actually no. That I didn't remember that, but my brain did. That was the only way that I remembered who wrote that because in grade school when I had to memorize that,
you called him Fanny.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. See, these are the things that middle school boys, the little tricks. I got tricks, guys. I got tricks.
Why are they not graduating at the same rate as women? I don't understand.
Yeah, right. Turns out because they are starting to realize that school is a sham.
Well,
and not in the wait. Not in the way that you get all these people that are saying, "Well, I don't need to know the Pythagorean theorem. I'm never going to use that." No, but it makes you a more well-rounded person.
Yeah, knowing things just
know everything that you can know.
Absolutely.
And forget most of it.
Talking to somebody the other day and they didn't know where England was.
Well, Americans are notoriously bad at geography.
That's not great. We should be better at that.
Be better.
Be better, America.
But
just knowing, come on, England, that's easy.
Should we make the be better list? We'll just have at the top, it says be better at knowing geography. And that'll be the first one. And then the second one can be not being racist.
I don't need you
that's what I feel like they're saying.
Yeah.
All the time.
Exactly.
I don't even know what that means though.
But I don't need people to know where. I don't need you to know where Belgium is in Europe. But if I say where's Belgium, point to Europe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't even have to be that good at it. Just all right, know where the continents are and know that, European countries are here and Asian countries are here.
Sure.
That would be.
Continents is a good place to start.
That would be to me an fine.
How many people do you think can name all 7?
How many people
do you think can name all 7? And how many people do you think can accurately locate them?
All right. I'm going to say 3 people can name
total. Yeah.
2 can locate them.
Were they Biden voters or Trump voters?
They're both right here. I don't trust anybody outside this room to know anything.
Oh, nice. Ever?
I mean, basically.
Yeah, in general.
Which is why, I don't know, when I'm talking about anything, I always try to explain the lowest common denominator. I always establish a baseline of all right, what does this person know?
Yeah.
So that you can continue the conversation.
Well, yeah, you got to put out
feelers. You can't
feelers.
assume that people know anything.
Nope. Well, so when I was teaching somebody how to do some home improvement things, I was walking them through how to fix a drain on their sink. And while I was doing this, I was taking every part and I was showing them saying, this is what this is. This is what this is. This is what this does. And this is how this goes together. And I thought they were getting annoyed with me because they were looking at me turns out they were very thankful. They told me afterwards, they go, I'm basically at the level of a 6-year-old And I appreciate that you took the time to walk me through every minute detail. Go, you're welcome.
Yeah. And
turns out, though, that was the way to go.
I love that experience of like teaching somebody something and having them like be really receptive to it.
I also like the flip side of that too, because that's how I want to learn. I want to know every little thing about every little thing that you're telling me. I don't want to know broad strokes. And
like relating things to like real world application.
Yeah.
Like I'm in a trade school right now. Today we were looking at like a wiring diagram.
Yeah.
And like the kid next to me wasn't like getting it. And so I took like we had it was for a thermostat. And so I took a thermostat that was like within arm's reach.
Yeah.
I was like, see, this is what this relates to.
Was it a boy?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It turns out hands-on is typically a better approach.
And I like see this thing on the wiring? That's a switch. And you can physically see the switch right here. And the way this moves and the way this connects to that. And he was like, oh, okay.
Nice.
You could just see like that like click. And I was like, yes.
See the wires coming together.
Oh, whoa.
Hey-oh.
The flick of the switch.
Wow.
And that's great. That's a great feeling.
It is.
And I would have been a teacher if it was more like that most of the time.
Yeah, it's not though.
It's not though.
Well, so little of teaching is actually academic teaching anymore. I'll tell you from firsthand experience, it is not. It's ideology pushing.
Well, and also old technology.
Yeah.
Did you hear they're teaching about cathode ray tubes?
What?
CRT. Yeah. I hear it on the news all the time. They're teaching CRT. Hey!
I was like, why are they talking about TVs?
Woo!
Yep. Listen,
that was a classy joke.
I'm awake, but I'm not woke.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. You see what I did there?
Yeah. Don't get me started on CRT. I can't.
I know I think it's a better technology. I think it should have been abandoned.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I love flat panels, but CRT TVs they still have a purpose.
What's going on in the world?
I don't know. You know what? Let's get into the Chinese censorship update.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do our actual show.
Hit that bit.
Yeah. Here we go. Where did I put it? There it is. Yay, Chinese censorship update. So, Daniel,
tell me,
have you heard of the phone company Huawei or Huawei?
Naturally, I have not.
No.
Huawei.
Well, how you pronounce it is Huawei.
Huawei?
Huawei.
Like Huawei?
Huawei.
Right, get into the story.
Huawei. They make phones. Have you heard of them? Have you seen that
logo? No, I genuinely never have.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, look, they sell a lot of phones. Like not as much in the U.S., but worldwide.
Yeah.
I think they're second only to like Samsung in terms of Android phones. Like they're a big worldwide phone company.
Okay.
But they're based in China.
Of course they are. Look at that name.
Yeah. Only China would blatantly rip off the NBC logo like that. And
yeah, I know. It's another peacock. It's a red peacock.
It is a red peacock. They're like, no, it's totally different.
Red rocket.
Chinese brand peacock. But Huawei has built-in software in their phones so that you can't type in things like free Tibet or Taiwan is an independent nation.
Oh,
the phone will just delete those sentences.
Oh, wow.
When you
automatically.
Yeah. The country, Lithuania, like the Lithuanian government has said, like, don't buy Chinese phones.
What if you just double negative it? Like Tibet is not a free nation.
That might be too close to the Chinese Communist Party.
Like, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, the Lithuanian government, the Lithuanian Defense Ministry recommends that consumers throw away any Chinese phones.
Oh.
Because you can't type in the terms long live Taiwan independence. You can't type the term democracy movement.
Oh,
nope, not allowed. Or free Tibet.
I'm just wondering how many, like, what they punch in the algorithm to make sure that I can't say like Tibet free.
Yeah, I wonder, like, is it like just in that sentence?
Yeah,
you know, they're like, too close.
Maybe I'm focused on the wrong thing here, but that's still pretty messed up.
Isn't that nuts? Like,
so how many phones are they putting out?
Last year they made $137 billion in revenue.
Wow. That's a little bit of change.
Yeah. No, like they're huge. I'm actually surprised you haven't heard of them because they are, like, even though they're not huge in America, I have seen that, like, their phones around.
Huh. Yeah, no. I mean, well, we only have what? Like, we have Samsung, we got the Galaxy, you got Apple, obviously the iPhone.
This is an LG.
We got some like random, LG.
That's good. It's fine. It was cheaper.
Yeah. There's a couple other like smaller ones, I guess. But yeah, no, I've never even heard of this company.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, from what I hear, like the actual phone quality is like they're like solid. They're solid phones.
Okay.
But they're usually quite a bit cheaper than like a Samsung or Apple or whatever. So they have like this, they have a market. But if you have that, just know that you can't, type in any, pro-democracy or freedom or, anything that Americans hold dear.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing they're a Chinese company.
Yeah, but their phones are here. Their stuff is here. So, and that all that data goes right back, because anything produced by a Chinese company is owned by the Chinese Communist Party. That's how their economy works.
That's true.
So if you buy that phone, it is owned by the it is produced by the Chinese Communist Party, and they get all your data, and they get everything, and they control what you type. So that seems,
before, when it was kind of covert, just getting the data. Yeah. I don't love that.
No,
at all. I'm not about that. However, this seems like such an overreach to be like, I want mashed potatoes. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
I want mashed potatoes. No, you don't.
Well, that's what the Chinese Communist Party wants.
Well, yeah.
They want control. And that's all they want. They don't care about the money.
Speaking of that, though, the video game thing from a couple weeks ago, with China, how they're limiting it to 3 hours a week, right?
Yep. 1 hour a day from Friday to Sunday. A specific hour.
I get why, right?
Sure.
In theory, yeah. Like you want, and I'm looking at an article right now on AP News, and it's basically there's a bunch of parents on here that are saying, I think this is a good thing for our kids. And they're talking about how, well, one dad here is going to start putting his daughter in piano lessons instead of playing video games. Okay, cool. Lee, the father of 2 young children, said he plans to arrange piano lessons for his daughter since she has shown an interest in learning the instrument. And then it quotes him to say, sometimes due to work, parents may not have the time to pay attention to their children, and that's why many kids turn to games to spend time. He said parents must be willing to help children cultivate hobbies and interests so that they can develop in a healthy manner. And that's all well and good. However, he's missing the point here, I think.
Yeah.
This is the overreach of the government.
Yeah, it's not the government shouldn't be making those decisions for your kids.
And here's where people get misconstrued. So this guy, Lee, which is his name, not mine, he agrees with this, so he's going along with it. However, what happens if they do something, you don't agree with?
Right.
And that's where I think even people in the United States, they get backwards. Oh, the government's overreaching their power, but I agree with it. Fine. No, it's hard line across the board.
That's absolutely. It's that old poem, and then they came for me.
Yep.
That's it's an idea as old as at least out of the 40s. Yeah, you can't see that power because that the government has made a parental decision for your kids in that scenario. And that is not the job of the government. You don't want to see your parental responsibilities to someone else because you cannot get those back.
Well, so let me ask you here. While I'm reading through this article, it's talking about TikTok and the developer company ByteDance, right? Based in China, they're gathering all your information. If you're on TikTok, you're giving them yourself. And it's talking about this, and let me read you the quote. Douyin and TikTok developer ByteDance announced recently that users under 14 in China will automatically be in youth mode and limited to 40 minutes a day on, Douyin. They also won't be able to access the app between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. Now, that's fine. However, it shouldn't be a government thing.
No, be a parent.
Yep.
And look, I get, but this goes back to something you've said before, where you can't make decisions based on the worst case scenario.
Yeah, you can't have worst case scenario fallacy. You can't say, well, I'm going to do this because an asteroid might fall from the sky. I'm not going to shortchange my long-term security for short-term gratification because, the earth might blow up.
Right.
That's basically that train of thought.
Right. And so you can't say oh, well, it's okay to let the parents or to let the government do this because, it's not that bad.
Right.
Or anything.
It also talks about,
or it's because, some parents, they're working too much, but we can't make our decisions based on because some parents can't parent their kids.
Right. What gets me here too, it also is talking about how in some cases companies will do sporadic facial recognition checks while people are playing and they'll be booted out of the game if they fail those checks. Well, China's already got the social credit system. They've already got cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's scary. China is Big Brother.
Well, and you look at it with Biden so in their pocket, they just think that this is the next stepping stone. This is the next frontier. And I got to think that our leaders now, our very quote unquote leaders, are looking at this yeah, okay, that's not a bad idea. And it's funny with all of the vaccine mandate talk, all the mandate talk, right? You got to think that China's looking over there what's the big deal? We do this stuff all the time. I don't know why they're Italian.
Hey, yo, what's up? I'm Ching Ho. What's going on?
We've got all of these policies and all. We've got, you can't even play video games for the amount of time that you want to play video games for. And what are you're worried about a mandate?
Hey, we mandate all the time.
Yeah.
But don't they men? That's not allowed on our TVs or in our video games or anything. We don't allow that.
And the regulators also ordered gaming companies to tighten examination of their games to ensure that they don't include harmful content such as violence. Broad strokes, my friends.
Woo!
No violence.
But that goes back to what I'm saying about how they don't care about money.
But my gender study teacher told me that words are violence.
It's funny, except that it's so sad.
It's just true. It's funny because it's true. I didn't have a gender studies teacher.
No, I didn't take gender studies.
They tried to get me in one of those classes. I said, no, thank you. I've heard all I need to hear.
Take interpersonal communication, which was just about as bad.
I want external.
Extra personal
communication.
Yeah. Please go away. You're being way too extra personal.
Ugh. Yeah. Just one person communication is all I need. No extra person. But anyways, so I just let me round out our Chinese censorship section on this.
Yes.
They've imposed these regulations, right? Especially with the video, talking about these video games. But they haven't, they didn't disclose what the penalties are.
Well, I assume you just get like a black bag thrown over your head.
I assume death.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they have so many people, they could really just do that for just about anything.
So that's why it's important, if for no other reason. Again, get the vaccine if you want to get the vaccine.
Sure, I got the vaccine.
However, a government mandate is not the way to do it. And and if you can get the vaccine and still be against the mandate.
Yes. As I have the vaccine, I am against mandates.
You also don't like, you can be against it and then still receive it later or get it, base it on your own individual thing. However, if you don't push back against this type of government overreach, the slippery slope argument is an argument. Yeah. And I think it holds water here, especially when the Biden administration has so many ties to China.
Well, so I think, you know, it's worth mentioning that there is, in modern times, in the current world, there is a government, an industrialized nation, that is doing like all of these terrible things. China, like that is huge.
And so I think if you're so quick to just give up all of your freedom and liberty, and let's be real, it's probably because you're fearful. And I don't say that in a bad way. I say that in just like, it's fine to, you know, have a little timidness.
I mean, I think most people probably just don't think about it.
Fair enough. Again, stop watching mainstream news, get off social media, take a dog for a walk. Rules for life.
Exactly. But then those people, you know, if you do all that, then they just don't know that this is happening.
Well,
they
no,
don't
that's
see
not
their
true.
freedoms being lost.
I would say that I do all those things all the time.
Get off of the news and social media.
I don't watch the mainstream news at all. It's garbage.
Right. But I think like if you just disconnect from everything, then you might not see it coming.
Yeah.
But I still say disconnect from things because.
But still, again, the point to this being, you got to push back against government overreach.
Yeah.
Because if not, we'll have cameras on every street corner telling you how to be a good citizen. And if you haven't looked into it yet, the social credit system in China, scary.
It's
scary.
It's insane. It's insane. It's like you know, just watch. There's like an episode of Black Mirror.
Oh yeah,
basically that came out like
I would say it doesn't even do it justice. It's tame compared to what China actually is.
Right.
Which is that's terrifying.
Yeah. No. Like our dystopian fiction.
Yeah.
Does not match the reality of China.
The reality of China right now supersedes Brave New World by like the nth degree.
Yeah.
I'll take Brave New World. Let me be an alpha. Fuck it. I don't even need to be that. Beta.
It's
B, C, D. But yeah, no. It's scary. It's scary. And I think that's why you know, you gotta stand up for your freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was the Chinese censorship update. All right.
What else is going on in the world?
I don't know. I was going to ask you. You got another topic?
Oh, I got plenty of topics.
All right. What else you got? You come up with the next one.
Well, there's something going on Hulu.
What's going on Hulu?
Turns out they've lost a show.
What did they lose?
They lost The Prodigal Son. Have you watched it at all?
No. Which one is that?
It's the crime drama.
It sounds familiar. Is that the one where the dad was a serial killer? And then like the kid's like a detective?
I believe so.
Okay.
I
saw a trailer.
I've watched bits and pieces of it. The series ended on a cliffhanger after 2 seasons. But Hulu has lost it.
Okay.
Apparently they're just done with it. And it leads me into a bigger topic of there are so many streaming services now.
Yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous.
So I see that they've lost a show. And what I'm saying is this is a pretty the show Prodigal Son. Not really talking about the show, but just in general. It's a pretty popular show. It's been received well. It's had 2 seasons.
I've heard of it. So I mean that's pretty big in it.
I'm sure it will get picked up
by something. Sure.
A Netflix, an Amazon, probably not a Disney, but you've got a Peacock.
Wouldn't that be great?
You know,
Disney Plus's Prodigal Son. After you finish Turner and Hooch, go watch
Warner Brothers co-produced the show, so I guess there was some hope that HBO Max could come in,
like they did with the. Do you remember when DC had a streaming service?
Yep. Have we come full circle to just now they are just like the Hulu and the Netflix and the Amazon Prime? They're just the new NBC, ABC.
Yeah,
that's all it is now.
Absolutely.
We've come back. Like, so there was a time where it was basically 5-6 years ago. It was Netflix. You had Netflix.
I had Netflix before, like it was cool.
Oh God, you're so cool.
Yeah, because I got it when it was still DVDs.
Oh, okay.
And then the streaming was just a bonus, and I thought it was really neat.
But now everything's a streaming service,
and then everything was just on Netflix, and it was awesome. And then Amazon. And Hulu was around, but it wasn't what it is.
I watched Hulu in 2009. It was free. You could watch it for free. I watched Family Guy and some other stuff. I can't remember what else is on.
Well, Hulu. So Hulu started as it was like several networks got together to create Hulu. Like I think Disney might have been Warner Brothers and like NBC or something, like got together to create Hulu. And then they all separated and created their own streaming services.
Okay. Right. And that's what I'm saying though. So you used to have Hulu, which was a conglomerate.
Mm-hmm.
You had the ABC shows, you had the NBC, you had the Fox.
Right.
Now you got them all separate. Mm-hmm. We're just back to that point.
Yeah.
We're back to the point of like cable TV.
But like, I don't know that they can survive like that. I don't think they will. Who do you have Peacock? You do have Peacock, right?
I do, but I don't pay for it.
Yo, you use someone else's Peacock.
Well, it was logged in and I never logged out. It wasn't. Okay. It's not you,
right,
by the
way.
So
you have never paid for Peacock.
No, but I did pay for CBS All Access. Is that what it's still called, or is it called something else now?
No, I think now it's Paramount Plus.
Okay. Yeah, I paid for that before it became Paramount Plus. I don't pay for it anymore.
But I mean, like, does anybody give a fuck about Paramount Plus? I don't.
No, and so what I think people do, and this was going to lead me to my next question that I was just going to ask. What do you think the average amount that people spend on streaming services per month? What do you think that is?
The average person, I would bet the average person has 2 to 3 streaming services. And then they probably have Amazon Prime because they use the shopping.
Okay. I think
they probably have Netflix. Yeah. And then I would count on them having like one more, either HBO or Hulu or something.
Okay, so what do you think? What do you think? How much?
I'm going to guess the average person spends $50 a month on streaming services.
$47 a month is what they spent in December 2020. So it might be up. It might be up from that.
I think I would call that close enough.
Yep. And that's up almost $12 from April of last year.
Well, last year was, I wonder if it's actually gotten down. Now
so the most current information that I have right here is $47 per month in December 2020. Okay. I don't have 2021 statistics.
Because 2021 was a much more open year than 2020 was.
What do you think the most popular one was?
Netflix.
This is from a JD Power survey. 81% said they subscribed to Netflix.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then I would assume Amazon.
Amazon Prime 65. Yep, number 2. What do you think number 3 is?
Disney Plus.
Nope, Hulu at 56%.
It wasn't, it was between Hulu and Disney Plus.
Yep, you come back at number 4 with Disney Plus at 47, HBO Max at 22%, and Peacock at 18, Apple TV Plus at 14. Mind you, this was...
Does this have Paramount Plus anywhere on it? Or CBS All Access?
Nope. Right, so, but that goes to your point. Who's subscribing to these? Who cares?
Dude, they keep trying with those Star Trek shows.
Well, I see they've got like the Hulu Disney Plus bundle now too. So
yeah, because Disney was originally part of like Hulu.
They're coming back. They're coming back full circle with the cable packages.
Yeah, exactly. That's on Hulu. You can subscribe to HBO or Showtime or whatever, and like add them as premium channels onto your Hulu.
Yeah,
or Amazon. I think Amazon does it too.
But you think that's $50 a month you're spending on streaming services? Cheaper or less than what you'd spend on cable? It's probably about the same, right?
I don't know. I always felt like cable was way too expensive.
Oh yeah, it definitely was.
Like I feel like you get more out of streaming services than you do cable, or I do because I don't care about like I don't watch sports.
Well, and so the main difference between streaming services and cable, so CBS All Access Paramount Plus has football, has NFL.
Oh, okay.
And I think Amazon Prime has NBA games and stuff.
Oh yeah, Amazon Prime has a bunch of sports stuff.
Yeah, so you can watch sport. There's ways
you
to
watch
like
MLB on Amazon.
Yeah, and so you can get that, but the difference is you can watch it on your own time. I don't have to. And I think that's actually a detriment to the American way of life.
Well, that's what killed the water cooler show.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones was the last water cooler show.
Do you remember TGIF
on NBC?
Yep.
No.
What? It was it was I think Friday night.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, my God. It was Friday night.
Yeah.
However, I was gonna say I think it was like Sabrina the Teenage Witch was on there.
Sure.
Can't remember what else was on there because I only really cared about Boy
Meets World, maybe?
I cared about Melissa Joan Hart. No, Boy Meets World was Disney.
Oh, is that on ABC?
I think so.
Oh, you're probably right. I know. Sorry, it was the night.
But I just remember the little jingles. TGIF, and it would come up.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's dead.
Yeah.
No. It might have been on a Friday.
It could have been.
God.
Thank God it's fun day.
Somebody's got a case of the fun days.
Yeah.
Yep. Ron Livingston. Yeah. So, but that whole like family atmosphere, I used to sit down every Friday and we'd watch TGIF. It was an event.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that anymore.
No, there's
not at all.
There's no show. There's really no show on right now that you can just go up to like anybody and expect them to have seen it.
No, and I think that's a product of there's just so many shows on.
Right.
I mean,
I think Game of Thrones and like Breaking Bad.
That was very and you know what? Even Breaking Bad in its prime, like while it was airing, I don't even think you could talk to most people about it.
You're probably right.
I would say it was Game of Thrones maybe a little different. I think most people were real into Game of Thrones.
There's a lot of people into Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dragons and stuff.
It's so good. It was so good.
It was so good.
It was so good. I wonder. I kind of want to rewatch it.
You'll be disappointed.
Because I know like the ending is so bad, but like, does that negate the quality of the earlier seasons?
Yes, because there's no payoff. It's all about setup and payoff. So if you're always like you have mini payoffs in the early seasons of Game of Thrones because you think that they're ultimately leading to something bigger. They talk about the White Walkers and all that stuff, and then they just blow it. It's done.
Like, there are so many like
no, because the whole 50% of the first 4 seasons is the build up to what was supposed to happen.
You're probably right.
No, I'm absolutely right.
But there were still payoffs.
Oh, sure.
The Red Wedding.
Yes.
The fight of the Viper and the Hound. Did that happen simultaneously?
Weird. We're back. There was some great, right. So that's what I'm saying. It's 50%. 50% of the first 4 seasons, even first 5, were really good. And they pay off within the seasons.
Yeah.
The other half in why it was so captivating is because there's this grand narrative that, Daenerys is coming in with her dragons.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got everybody, they're conglomerating together.
There were so many specific mysteries that never paid off.
Yes. And if you ever want to waste, 4 hours, there's a YouTube video that goes through all of the, non-fleshed out storylines, which is really funny.
That is funny.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know if it'll change. Maybe they'll reshoot it when Georgia finishes the books.
Well, I think at this point they'd have to do just a new cast and just do it again.
Animate it. That's what's gonna happen.
That could be. Well, I don't know. Look, like they're doing a Lord of the Rings show right now on Amazon.
Yeah, but Lord of the Rings is a little different. Game of Thrones is real specific. There's a lot going on in Mordor.
So you think there's like more stories to tell?
Yeah, I think there's
Lord of the Rings.
I think there's sub stories. They're not telling the Frodo story again.
Are they not?
Oh, I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
I don't. That's what I assumed.
Huh?
I don't know.
I think I bet you it's because it's kind of like how Game of Thrones was a Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah,
and they called it Game of Thrones when they did the show.
Right. Well, that was the first book.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings wasn't Lord of the Rings. It was Middle Earth.
Well, it's Lord of the Rings.
There's more to it than that.
Well, there was also
it's the Hobbit.
The Hobbit, and then there was the Lord of the Rings trilogy,
right,
of books, and then there's the Silmarillion.
Yes,
you know what I'm talking about. The one that's just got all the extra shit that I don't think it was actually published in J.R.R. Tolkien's lifetime. I think there was just all of his writings about Middle Earth.
Yeah,
that were published posthumously.
Right. Well, but the Lord of the Rings was the first book, and they took it from there, and that's what they called right, wasn't it?
No, there was the Fellowship of the Ring. The titles of the movies are the titles of the 3 books.
Right. No, I know that, but it's still the Lord of the Rings. Right. That's what people know it as. Is what I'm saying.
That's what a Song of Ice, a Song of Ice and Fire,
is the Lord of the Rings, the equivalent. Right.
But it would be like if they called the Lord of the Rings movies the Fellowship of the Ring.
Sure.
And then just every season was, or if they made a TV show of the Lord of the Rings but called it the Fellowship of the Ring. And it was, the Fellowship of the Ring season 1.
What I'm saying is that the Lord of the Rings has a much grander narrative, even as big as you think Game of Thrones is. It's pretty much focused on, dare I say, the Game of Thrones.
I don't know if I agree with that.
No, okay, that's my
just going because I almost think that there's more characters and plot lines in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that they're worth telling, and they're all intertwining. You have some very separate stories. You
have 3 separate stories in Lord of the Rings. There's the Hobbits, there's Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli, and then there's the other Hobbits.
Let me tell you why you're wrong.
Okay.
In context of Lord of the Rings, look at the video games that they've produced from that. Shadow of Mordor. Yeah.
There are spin-off books of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but they're not good.
Oh, George R.R. Martin is a good writer. George R.R. Martin. It's like J.R.R. Tolkien.
I guess. I don't know. I think of the Game of Thrones thing as very much the Daenerys and Jon Snow. That's Game of Thrones. Whereas the Lord of the Rings is this is a much grander thing. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not. I actually think structurally they're pretty similar in that every Game of Thrones also has 3 stories up until they converge in the end. Sure.
Whereas the Daenerys plot, the Jon Snow plot, and then the King's Landing plot.
Do you think Game of Thrones would have been better suited as 3 4.5 hour movies like Lord of the Rings is?
No. I think it was actually really good to flesh out, and I don't know. I would have been curious about Lord of the Rings if I didn't hear so much annoying things about it.
Oh, the series coming out?
The series coming out, yeah.
I love the movies.
The movies are so good.
Yeah.
And actually, I will say of the movies actually did a great job of streamlining the books because the books are way too fucking long.
Yeah.
And like windy. Because like they'll be walking and then they'll be like, that's the Misty Mountain. Now let me fill up 20 pages with the history of the Misty Mountain. And you see the Misty Mountain was formed by the dragons and blah, 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 and it was just like, oh my God, fucking get back to the plot.
Well, let me tell you, I've got the extended editions. They're a great movie to watch while you're coming in and out of the room because you don't miss anything if you leave.
Listen, I can tell you, I saw the extended editions in theaters.
Oh, yeah, right in a row.
Day.
Yeah.
In one day. I started at 10 a.m. and ended at 1 a.m.
Good God.
There's like a 45-minute break in between each movie.
Yeah, piss break. You got to bring a catheter with you.
And there was one other guy in the theater besides me. I went and saw him with my cousin Adam. And there's one other guy in that theater.
Did you guys sit right next to him?
No, he was a few rows back.
Thank God.
But he left 20 minutes before the end of Return of the King.
What?
Yeah.
You've sawn it through to this far.
Oh, like
scale the Misty Mountain.
In fact, it might have been more than 20 minutes before it was like right before they threw the ring into the lava.
Oh, okay.
Like when they were like climbing up the Mount Doom.
The ring doesn't really get thrown.
No, Gollum falls in.
Not to be a smug asshole about it.
Like before the conflict above the fires of Mount Doom.
The conflict. I'm just saying, if you're gonna say it, be accurate.
Yeah, I know. All the fucking Lord of the Rings nerds watching this, all fucking zero of them.
Yeah, but I'm watching it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's true.
We didn't really know what we were doing.
But
yeah, so then
he left.
Yeah,
and I was like, what the fuck? I thought we were on a journey, and he failed before the end.
Yeah, just call you Schmeagle.
Yeah, he's like Frodo when he actually puts on the ring at the end and like betrays everything. That's what that guy did.
What a loser.
What a fucking loser. Only real people watch 12 and a half hours of Lord of the Rings movies in one day.
Oh, yeah. So I'm looking at the characters' names for the new Lord of the Rings show.
Okay.
I don't recognize any of them. So maybe it will be a good spin-off series.
It could be. But I heard they're trying to make it like Game of Thrones, and there's gonna be like sex,
right? So I'm looking at it here, and literally the first line of this article talks about how it's going to be a multi-season, television adaptation. And start with one good season.
Yeah, man, don't put the cart before the horse. I already heard this is going to be the most expensive television show ever made.
God.
Like $500 million.
What was the other most expensive television show?
Probably Game of Thrones.
Probably.
I like the Battle of the Bastards apparently cost like millions of dollars.
And then they blew their whole wad, so they had to digitally impose everything else in the later episodes.
Yeah, just
fucking put them in. I don't care. The Golden Company will just there's like 6 of them, right?
Yeah, we'll just like copy and paste.
Yeah. Mirrors, more mirrors, I say.
The Golden Company is all one guy?
Hey. Just goes
where the Golden Company.
I don't think that's how mirrors work.
It is when you do
a podcast on We the People Podcast Network.
It's this effect.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The visual representation.
See, I can do
that.
Yeah,
I see. I'm going to look up the most expensive TV show. I'll tell you. Oh my God, it's the Lord of the Rings.
Oh my God.
That's what it came up as.
See?
But the most expensive one before that,
Friends.
Number 5 was The Mandalorian. $15 million an episode. Number 4, Game of Thrones, $15 million for the last season's episode.
Okay.
The Pacific was $20 million an episode.
But there were only like 5 episodes, I think.
Sure. It then lumps in for number 2 all of the Disney Plus Marvel TV shows. So you've got Loki, WandaVision,
Right.
Apparently, Hawkeye.
Oh, that's coming out. That actually looks not bad.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I like what's his face? The guy who plays Hawkeye. Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, that guy.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, he should probably just be a comedian. He's got funny. I don't know. He's got the look. He's like rugged Paul Rudd.
Okay.
That's what I look at him as.
Sure.
He's almost funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it just lumps all of those together as number 2.
Well, how many per episode? How much per episode is
$25 million. And then you've got The Lord of the Rings, which is a total budget of $1 billion.
Billion?
They paid $250 million for the rights and a commitment of 5 seasons.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So it's $200 million per season?
Apparently.
Okay.
So I think we're getting 4 episodes a season. And you know what? I'll take it.
Hey, dude, a $50 million episode.
Hell yeah.
Probably pretty incredible looking. I don't know. We'll see. But the writing will be crap. And so all that money will just be so much fucking
And so
noise.
it's Amazon, so it's going to be a wet noodle.
Yeah.
Like I have no hope. Amazon, so you look at the shows like The Boys, Invincible that we talked about last week.
Yeah, I still have to watch that.
They were great in their first season. And then The Boys definitely took a nosedive in season 2. It's not bad, but you can see the Amazon like big tech company creep in and be like, we need to push our agenda a little bit. What do you mean? We got people watching this. We need to like put our ideology in this.
Like, which goes against like the entire idea, because the bad guys in that show are like corporate agenda,
which is hilarious.
Like that's the bad guy in season 1.
Yeah, they make him sympathetic. Don't worry.
That's like like Garth Ennis, the guy who wrote like the comic book The Boys.
Yeah,
like that's like it goes against everything he's ever written. Like he's so cynical, and that's why I love him.
I think he got a paycheck. So,
I mean, yeah, maybe he did sell out. I don't know.
Can we also Friends was $10 million an episode in
I said Friends when we were. That was one of my first guesses.
Yeah, but like it
was $1 million per cast member per episode.
That's crazy.
So that's $6 million for the main cast, and then
wild.
However much they paid for the rest of it, I guess.
Oh my god!
And Paul Rudd was in the last season, so
he was.
How much did he get?
4.
I don't know if he was worth anything.
$4.
I don't know if he was even.
No, he banked on the return of that.
Yeah.
You know, he was pulling it all off afterwards. You know,
Sure.
Hey, I was on Friends.
Yeah.
Now I'm Ant-Man or something.
And the Wasp. Wait.
Is he?
No.
I just know. I didn't watch that.
I liked Ant-Man and the Wasp. I like Paul Rudd. He's very inoffensive.
Sure. He's our idiot brother.
Oh, yeah.
Ta. Nailed it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. We should probably just wrap this
up.
Wrap it up.
Like a Christmas gift.
Like my dick. All right.
In a box.
Exactly. Wrap it up.
All right. This was your weekly dose of PCP.
Until next time.
How the We the People podcast.
You stay shiny. Or whatever that means.
Stay moist.